some nerd power. It's the Falcon Paladin Hour, a podcast by Falcon Paladin and Somicron. Falcon hates puns and thinks that they're all wrong. One's American and one is an Aussie, talking about StarCraft 2 and the esports scene.
Hello and welcome to the 170th episode of the Falcon Paladin Hour.
Yes, it is the 170th episode.
Yeah, I think we should get a medal for that.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get one commissioned.
You mean there isn't like an organization that just keeps count and gives out to podcasts that make it this far?
There should be.
There
if there's not, then I don't know what we're doing here, honestly.
Exactly.
We're not doing this for the medals. Why do we have a podcast?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Excellent point. Excellent point.
Anyway, you'll notice we're at a bit of an earlier time slot today. The week
We
of
are.
Christmas is a bit nuts. It's Christmassy things plus their sports ball going on
Yeah,
today.
I was going to say, don't you blame this on Christmas? You wanted to watch football.
I would have moved it to a different day if it wasn't a million Christmas things happening. But
Also
because
fair.
of football and because it's Christmas week, we had to move it up a couple hours.
Yeah.
So we're here now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all of the reports that Zerg was dead in 2020 seem to be a little bit gone.
Well, I mean, Zerg hasn't been dead. Zerg's been doing fine. I mean, not as, not strictly as good as they have been, but not dead. I mean,
No.
Cyril's won 2 Premier Tournaments this year alone. That's pretty good.
He has. And Rogue won one of the GSLs. So,
Uh-huh.
I mean, yes, Zerg's not dead, but not as dominant as they've been in the past. So anyway, and then we end up getting to TSL 6, which the commentators made a big point of saying a lot of Koreans showed up for this, players that normally don't. At least according to Zombie Grub, players like Maru and Dark and Rogue and stuff don't usually come to TSL.
No, they're not
So-
normally like online events sort of people.
Yeah, in general, right, exactly. So the fact that they showed up and turned this into one of the more competitive TSLs of all time instantly.
Yeah, for sure.
We got ourselves a ZVZ finals, and Dark went on one of the best runs in a tournament win of all time.
I mean, kind of, right? Like, here's,
What?
I mean, here's the interesting thing, and I saw someone, I think it was Fear Dragon, point this out on Twitter. Dark only swept 2 players, Bjorn and Cyril, 2 really, really good players. He dropped maps to literally everyone else he fought. Right?
Yeah. So,
I
did
mean,
you win the series? Who cares if you dropped a map?
I'm not talking about a map. I'm talking like it's 3-2 to Reyna, right? It's 3-2 to Rogue.
It's 3-2 to the second best player in the world right now.
Right.
Rare. Ooh,
What-
great shame.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that even though he had an incredible run and he won, it was looking rough up until like the last 2 matches, right? Because Bjorn and Cyril were his last 2, and then he's like, "No, I got this. Not even gonna drop a map at this point."
Yeah, and I mean that's pretty nuts on its own. Everything
Yeah.
else, regardless.
Yeah,
For him to go 7 games and 0 against Cyril and Beyond is like dark. You ate your Wheaties that morning. Because that was the same day. Yeah,
yeah.
crazy. But I mean, regardless, if you just ignore how many maps he dropped and how many maps he won, we're looking at he does get knocked out by Cyril 3-2 in the winner's bracket. But then from that point on, he does not lose. He ends up 3-1ing Parting, 3-2ing Rogue, 3-2ing Raynor, 3-1ing Showtime, 3-2ing Maru, 3-0ing Beyond, and then 4-0ing Cyril. Look, I understand he dropped some maps in there, but that is as brutal a run as I think we've possibly seen this year.
Quite probably. Yeah.
Because again, the GSLs don't have Cyril and Raynor. And
not typically.
the ESL stuff doesn't have the Koreans. So
Not
all we
typically.
have are these events where everybody can show up and play.
These events and Katowice and WSG and GSL versus the world. Yeah.
Correct. Yes.
Just
Only
those
like
4 events per
4 or
year.
5 times.
Yeah. And Home Story Cup, we get like 2 of those a year. So like 6 times a year. Yeah.
Did we get a second home story this year? I think they skipped it.
I think they might have skipped it. I don't remember.
But anyway, it's not. I'm just saying it's not a lot. That's all.
I mean,
regardless, it was amazing.
Besides,
I'm very impressed.
Well, the ESL stuff's no longer region locked.
Right. That happened.
Yeah.
So that was.
They're the only Korea region locked events of GSL now because you have to live in Korea for a month to play.
Which is hilarious.
Yeah.
Like we're gonna region lock it the other way.
Wow. It's not really how that works, but yeah.
Yeah. I like it. I do. I mean, is it going to incentivize Koreans to play in ESL events, or is it like all I have to do is do well in GSL? Screw those things, right?
I mean, I assume they will. Like, what's the reason not to?
Well, that's what I'm saying. If all they have to do is perform well in GSL, there's no reason to go to ESL events.
Well, I mean,
like
other than the money and getting into Blizz, well, whatever. Like, it's Katowice now is like the World Championship, but I assume it will give points, right?
Yeah, but I'm saying if all you have to do is do well in GSL to have enough points to qualify for Katowice, then there's no points reason to go. Sure, maybe the money is good. Maybe getting,
I mean, here's the thing. The players, like, okay, so GSL gives you 3 champions and they get in, and then you have points, right? At the moment, points in GSL getting you to, like, whatever BlizzCon will be, right, only matters because they're separate rankings. You have the Korea standings, and then you have the rest of the world rankings. I assume those rankings are now combined. Just playing in GSL will not net you nearly as many points as it used to, because the rest of the world would have 70,000 tournaments, and the people who don't make it have like 1,500 points, but the people who used to make it from Korea only have 700 because GSL only gives 700. If that makes sense.
Yep, that's what I was asking. That's all I wanted to know. Did they incentivize players to play in ESL events? Because GSL isn't as rewarding as it used to be, and the answer is yes. So that's great.
I assume so. I don't know that. I didn't make the roll. I'm just guessing. It would be really weird to be like, nah, there's no region lock now, but the rankings are still separate. It would be super weird.
Would be. So I did find a Wikipedia post about this that outlines the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Blah, blah, blah. So the total of 1,300 ESL points per event to 4,000 total. Well, so there you go.
Damn.
You can get more points for competing in ESL events.
Cool.
All right, fair enough. Done. Yeah, I think this is going to be good. I think the region lock did what it needed to do. I think the region lock helped spawn some incredibly elite competition out of non-Korean countries.
Mm-hmm.
And I think now it's time to end it. I think now it's time to let everybody just compete on an even playing field.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not against ending the region lock, but I'm also not, like, I'm very neutral. I can go both ways, let it see how it goes. But my theory is that they're like, you've got 2 years left of tournaments before our ESL agreement with Blizzard runs out. So we're just going to, like, let the Koreans out. Fuck it. Right? If they steal everyone's prize money again, oh well, it was the last 2 years of tournaments. What are you going to do? Right.
We'll fix it for the next round. But for 2 years, they're free.
Well, no.
Yeah.
After 2 years, there probably won't be any more ESLs, right? Like, you get that.
Yeah, but I mean, somebody else is going to be running it. No?
Who?
I don't know. I think that's the death of the.
I think that's
the World Circuit.
Yeah, probably.
Really?
Because that's why Blizzard was like, well, we've got 2 more years. We got this like 3-year agreement with ESL, and then after that, who's going to put up the prize money? Blizzard. That was Blizzard saying we don't want to have to deal with this.
Yes, it was.
And they're like, oh, and we're not patching this, nor are we making any more cosmetics or co-op commanders to generate money.
Yes.
So who's going to put up the prize pool?
I don't know. Somebody?
Elon Musk.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, maybe. I guess we'll find out. We'll see. Elon could save it. Bezos could save it. That'd be cool.
That would be cool.
Just like, here is $1 billion. Go nuts. That would actually keep it running for quite some time.
Yeah. You could run it for another 5 years, probably. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay, so we had our bet. I chose Cyril after like 30 minutes of deliberation.
You chose Cyril after I talked you out of Rogue.
It's true. I was initially going to go with Rogue, and then you were like, you moron, he has to go through 5 more rounds to win.
Yeah.
Pick somebody in the winner's bracket. And I was like, fine.
Then hilariously, I was going to say, if for some reason in my mind you would pick Dark, so I was like, yeah, then the person you did pick ended up going through the loser's bracket anyway, which is not the case.
No, that would be funny, though, if I
Yeah.
pick Dark and then he just crushes through.
No.
Yeah. I like what Dark's doing, man. His 2020 has been pretty fantastic, but
He's doing all right.
all right. So what's funny is, so the first game on Saturday when I was watching, or no, Friday, whatever, Cyril versus Showtime. Showtime wins game 1. And it's this like 35-minute stupid macro, carrier Archon, storm, everything that Zerg hate game. And I was like, oh no, Showtime's going to win this series. And then Cyril was just like, nah, we're good. And he just won the next 3 games in like 12 minutes each. He was all right.
He was all right.
Yeah.
This is Dark's only Premier win this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you got a second place in GSL.
Which is pretty dead impressive.
I mean,
Second place in GSL, eh.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, it's good, but don't forget this was the guy that won the global finals last year, right? Like, we're expecting good things of him. And it's like, well, you got a TSL win. Well done.
Right.
Oh, it's not even GSL. It's the Super Tournament. So.
I mean, it's GSL. It's not a GSL season, right?
Right.
Right. Okay. So then Cyril 3-0's beyond, and there goes all hope. So, yeah. And then Cyril, I don't know, man. Like, again, the commentators just made a huge deal about how Cyril hates playing against Mutalisks and ZVZs. And it's like, what? Mutas haven't changed in a long time. What is it now that suddenly you're hating playing against Mutas and ZVZ? I didn't understand it very well.
The meta shifts. Cyril hates mutas now.
Yeah, I suppose.
If I remember correctly, he changed his bio. Yeah, on Twitter.
On Twitter?
Professional
Biggest
StarCraft 2
Mutalisk.
player and biggest Mutalisk hater in the world. Yeah.
All right, dude. You do you. Something mentally going on with this guy. I don't know what it is.
Who knows?
All right, cool stuff. So, GG Dark, looking good, man. Goes through the gauntlet, gets the win.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, what other stuff do we talk about? There's the Mandalorian season finale.
Yeah, I'd like to say that we called it.
We did.
Yeah. Luke showing up. Spoilers for anyone. Luke shows up.
Yeah, I mean, there aren't a lot of options for available Jedi in this point in the Star Wars timeline to show up.
Right, no.
But it's, I don't know, the more I think about it, it's amazing how much a single X-Wing arriving means Luke Skywalker. And I think it just means in an Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, that is his craft of choice. He's just flying from place to place by himself in an X-Wing. So it just imprinted on everybody's subconscious. If you see a single X-Wing arrive, it's Luke. It's not going to be a random pilot. They always come in at least pairs, if not larger squadrons. So that's the moment that I knew it was Luke, was the one Skywalker arriving. And then, obviously, it's a Jedi, and obviously he's got a green lightsaber, and he's got a glove on his robot hand. Right. So they just dripped all these clues to people who were still quite unsure about it, and then it was him. So,
right. I would like to say, not impressed by the deep fake.
No, it wasn't great. No, I agree.
Like, Leia was better.
Whoa.
Grand Moff Tarkin was better. In Rogue One, 100%.
I felt both Leia and Tarkin had some dead eyes going. Like, there was nothing behind those eyes. They looked good, but they didn't feel human. And I feel like they did better with that with Luke. I don't know.
Nah.
Okay. Anywho, he showed up for 3 minutes and then he left.
Yeah.
Took Baby Yoda.
Also, I would like to say that Dark Trooper punching the Mandalorian, helmet doesn't break, its fist doesn't break. Is it made of Beskar? Right? The Dark Trooper is supposed to be made of Beskar. That's why this is like a big deal, because laser bolts can't kill it, and neither can the micro missiles that he's got. But then Luke just shows up with his lightsaber. But the whole thing about why the Mando can fight like Ahsoka or Moff Gideon because they have lightsabers is he has Beskar.
Right. So if they're pure Beskar, the lightsaber should not have killed them, right?
Right.
So I don't know. Great question. They're made of plot material that stands up really well to everything but Luke Skywalker.
They had temporary plot armor. Right.
Yeah. And plot armor works that way. You can remove it from characters.
Oh, yeah.
They die when they didn't previously. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
I just... They go to all this trouble to show that Mando, it's like the hardest thing in the world for him to beat a single Dark Trooper, right?
Mm-hmm.
With a pure Beskar spear, which is like, I don't know, maybe the best thing you can have in that situation, because it doesn't seem like blasters do anything.
Right.
And then there's a whole squadron of them, like 20, 30 of these guys, and you're like, well, everyone's dead. And then Luke's just like, nope, we're going to Darth Vader hallway scene these guys, except it's robots.
Yeah.
It does seem like a very obvious choice to me that they made these robots and not people.
Because they didn't want to look looking like Vader too much.
Yeah, because even if they are Empire, Luke massacring 30 dudes, it's just not a good look for him. I don't know.
I mean, it's true, but then there's also Jabba the Hutt's like Sand Cruiser Palace scene, right, where he's just like killing everyone on the to free Luke and to free Han and Leia and Chewie.
Yeah.
Right. He kills a bunch of people there, and they're just pirates.
He sure does. That's true. They're not even Empire. I don't know. It just, again, it was a choice. I don't know that they needed to make that choice, but they definitely were like, he's going to be awesome, but he's not killing people.
Right. They definitely wanted to put the kitty gloves on him.
Yeah.
Totally. Right? He's like, he doesn't hurt people. He doesn't even show up in scenes with people.
Right. One detail that I liked was he shows up and wipes out the Dark Troopers, and then he's at the door to the bridge, and everyone's still like,
don't
has
open
their guns
it
on the door. Yeah, because they're like, this guy is even scarier than all these Dark Troopers. We don't know what we're doing here yet.
The thing,
like the Mandalorians are like, this is an ancient enemy of my people. Right.
The thing I don't get is the Dark Troopers. How do they know Luke's a bigger threat than their priority to punch in a door? Punch in a door, by the way. Punch in a door. The door, which then opens fine anyway, despite the fact that its form would because it's a sliding door. If you then make one go like this, it doesn't quite slide. But never mind.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I was like, that door took way too much damage just to open as nicely as it did. I agree.
Right. How did they know that this one dude arriving in an X-Wing is a bigger priority than punching through a door?
Well, I think he shows up, and then the Dark Troopers that are nearest to that area are like dispatched to deal with it. And as soon as they both die in about 3 seconds flat, the rest of the troopers are like, okay, hold up. We might need to handle this. They're not going anywhere. They're stuck in the bridge. We can take this guy down, and then we'll get in there and finish our mission. I mean,
one, I think when they, the people in the bridge see that the X-Wing arrives, the door punching stops immediately. Two, if they were smart enough to think about that, they wouldn't have to punch their way through a door. Right? I feel like they could hack it or, fetch plasma cutters or something. I feel like there are other options for getting through a door than punch it and hope, because they make an effort. They take a moment to point out that these things have a massive draw on power, right? Which is why they can't keep them charged for some reason. You would think punching your way through blast shields would be the least cost efficient way of doing it in terms of energy consumption, right? Like blunt force impact is not a great way to breach blast shields.
No, shouldn't be anyway.
No,
shouldn't go. Just force yourself to go battering ram on these things.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
also,
sure, maybe they're not programmed for hacking. Which would you bother doing that with your murder kill robots? Maybe
I don't know. But also disappointing. Whoever was like the scientist guy, who was like, yes, people were the final flaw in the machine, so we just made them droids. Didn't integrate their guns, right? Like their guns are just blasters that can be knocked from their hands.
Look, if you want to go down the road of why make robots that are people for any reason ever, I'm with you on this. Like, if you're making murder robots, don't make them look like people. There's no reason to make them bipedal. There's
Right.
no reason for
Look
a
at the-
lot of choices that they made there.
Yeah, look at what are they, destroyers, the droidicas in Phantom
Yeah.
Menace. They can
Much
roll.
better design.
Yeah. Guns are built into them. They're not like they could drop them.
They've got crazy awesome shields that Jedi have trouble with.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, the original Republic had better technology than the Empire did,
Uh-huh.
which is always dumb.
Uh-huh.
But that's the problem when Lucas goes back and retcons everything and introduces a new, shiny, more technologically advanced version of the Empire for no
Right.
reason.
Right.
Yeah.
Technologically advanced and having a 50s cafe.
Exactly. Yes. Anyway, I thought it was good. It does sure seem like they want spin-off shows for Ahsoka and Bo-Katan and the Fate of Mandalore and Boba Fett, obviously, based on the end credits scene.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it does kind of feel like this is the end of The Mandalorian, although they did say that the Boba Fett show is not going to be, season 3 of The Mandalorian. The Mandalorian's going to have its own thing. I don't know what we do other than pursue the Mandalore homeworld storyline, right?
I don't think there's going to be a Mandalorian season 3. I think anything he's left up to, like any of the plot threads he has left, are going to be tied up in someone else's show. Like a Bo-Katan show.
Well, he owns the... Okay. Oh, okay. So he exists within another show.
Yeah.
And we finish up his storylines in there. I see.
Yeah.
They could do that. There's not a lot... I mean... Yeah, he fulfilled his quest. He fulfilled the big story quest.
Mm-hmm. Took his helmet off.
Yeah, took his helmet off for the third time.
What was the first time? Oh,
First
right.
time
When he
was dying.
Right. But there was no people there. That doesn't count.
Well, he took it off. That's what I'm saying.
Yes, yeah, right. Well, if you want to include took it off, it's his fourth time, right? Because he took it off to eat fruit when on the mud planet with the
Right.
ATST.
Yeah, that's true. That's another time. Yep.
So him taking off the helmet is not a deal. It's the fact that he took it off in front of people.
Okay, twice.
My prediction is we get a Bo-Katan show, and at some point she's like, "All right, time to go track down the Mando," and because he's got the lightsaber, and he finds someone who has been outcast from the Mandalorian sect that he's in, and it's just him living like. The little guy who was like good with droids, repaired Taika Waititi's droid, died in the first season.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be living a kind of monastic lifestyle like him, just like out on raising hordes of food animals. I don't know. So I don't have
to be wearing his armor because that'd be hilarious. Like Mando out there tilling crops in full Beskar armor.
No. He'll have melted the scythe, the spear down into a scythe, and he'll be harvesting like that. But he won't be wearing full Mandalorian gear. He'll have it, right?
Right. I'm down. I'm down with him just finding a quiet life. I'm okay with this. I like this idea. That's good.
That's my bet.
All right. Cool. Excellent. Good. So anyway, I thought it ended well. I think generally the reception's been positive. I think people have overall liked this more than they liked the sequel trilogy for Star Wars.
Depends on who you ask, but yeah. There are a lot of people out there that really like the sequel trilogy.
All of it? Because
yeah.
I think everybody has one of those movies they hated.
No, I've seen people on Twitter be like, sequels are the best movies.
Holy crap. Okay.
Yeah.
Are these people 10?
No.
Okay. Just checking.
These people are old enough to rent cars. Not just to drive, but to rent cars.
Yeah. 25 then. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, that's interesting. Because every conversation I've had about Star Wars, either people have... There's always one they don't like. Either they don't like Force Awakens or The Last Jedi or Rise of Skywalker. Some people hate all three. Some people hate two of the three. Some people only like one. But I need to find these people who like all of them and see what's going on.
I mean, I think most, the people who are generally like all of them are generally neutral about two and really like one of the three at the very least. They don't necessarily have a lot of bad things to say. They just really like one, and they're like, yeah, the other two are okay. Right? Like, a lot of people are with Revenge of the Sith. Like, yeah, it's okay. A couple people really like it, but I think most people just go, yeah, it's the okay of the prequels.
Right. Yes. Anyway, Star Wars. We're gonna get more, it turns out.
Turns out.
All right. So cool. Cyberpunk. Can we talk about Cyberpunk for a bit?
Sure. What's on your mind?
All right. So I just there are things I'm not happy about with CD Projekt Red. Obviously, they didn't have the console ports for their game ready to go at all. I haven't seen anybody with a PlayStation 4, 5, or latest Xbox.
The 5
console.
is not out yet. The PlayStation 5 version of the game is not out yet.
Oh, okay. So PlayStation 4 then.
And they removed that from the PSN store. So
They did. It was such a bad experience for everybody who tried playing it on the PlayStation 4 that they removed it from the store.
and offered refunds, which is a very un-Sony thing to do.
Yeah. But I mean, if everybody's having trouble with it, it's the right thing to do. You got to try to placate your user base on some level because people are pissed.
Right.
Yeah. So obviously that was a problem. After doing a lot of digging and trying to find a 30 series RTX card, which is nigh impossible unless you want to pay over $1,000, which I don't, and pay scalpers, no. I did end up finding a 2080 Super for retail, which was what it retailed for back in January. So, I mean, I feel like I should be getting a cheaper price, but hey, them's the numbers right now.
Uh-huh.
And I did get it from a legitimate, from Amazon Direct. So at the very least, I'm not supporting a scalper, so I'm going to call it good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's been great. I've been getting 40 to 60 FPS consistently. I've never seen a drop under 40 FPS with ray tracing on medium. The quality at whatever. It's funny because it goes like low, medium, high, ultra, ray tracing medium, and then ray tracing high are your settings. And it's like ray tracing is not a graphics setting, it's a feature. What are you doing? It's a really weird way to set it up.
That's weird.
Yeah, but I'm on ray tracing medium and it looks fantastic and I haven't seen any stuttering or crashes or anything. It's been really good for me in the 10, 15, 20 hours I've been able to put into it so far.
Fair enough. How far have you gotten into it? Like if you said 10 hours? What does that get you?
More, I don't know. The problem is there's a lot of time on that where I'm just in the game trying to screw around with settings and see how they look.
Right.
Which counts as gameplay time, but I'm not really playing the game.
Right.
Yeah, so I don't know.
What was the last story quest you did?
Nomad story quest. I just finished acquiring the drone from the
Maelstrom guys. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't even know what percentage of the way that is through the main quest. Is this intended to be different quest lines for each lifestyle you've chosen when you character create?
No, because what background did you choose?
Nomad.
All right, I went Street Kid, right?
And it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there are dialogue options and stuff that pop up and be like, you can say this because you've got a Street Kid background. Yeah,
totally.
Yeah.
You can say this because you're a nomad. Does it change anything? Not really.
No, not that I'm aware of. Not strictly.
No, not that I've seen either. One thing I've really loved is the Maelstrom character design.
Okay.
Because everyone's got this cyber tech on, so it's like wires running through their heads and their eyes are artificial and stuff. But these guys have carved out the upper half of their face and tossed in 8 eyes. They look like spiders.
Yeah.
It's some of the most extreme body modification I've seen in the game, and it's amazing visually. It's really freaky stuff.
It's very good. I enjoy it. I'm a little sad that that's the only mission I've seen where you really get to go and talk to them. I've played a couple where it's you can try to talk to them, and then I walk in there being like, hey, let's talk, and they're like, kill them, and I'm like, oh, I guess we're fighting. So
well, I mean, does it depend on how you handle the earlier mission with the Maelstrom? Because I totally killed their guy.
Did you free their
I did actually. Yeah, I freed Brick.
Yeah. So I freed Brick, but
I almost didn't find him.
Oh, really?
Because he's in this back room in a closet, right? And I was fighting some dudes, and I think I'd moved on already, but then I died and I had to restart a checkpoint.
Okay.
And the second time through, I was like, what's this door? And I opened it. I was like, oh, hey, what's up? So I almost left him there to die. Like, good times. It's like either move and get shot in the chest or starve to death or like die of thirst. Take your pick.
Yeah, it's bad.
Because
Bad
no one's
times.
going to come looking for you. Well,
You came looking for
actually,
it.
those corporate dudes probably would, but
Maybe.
yeah. What did you do with did you meet with the corporate lady before you raided the Maelstrom?
Yeah.
How did that go?
Initially not well, but then we kind of talked something out. I think she gave me a money chip to try and pay for the bot.
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, the bot's already been paid for, so I'm just going to keep this. And then,
Oh, nice.
Then I
Okay.
shot my way out with the bot, so it's fine.
Oh. So here's my question. What did they want? Did they want the bot?
No.
What did they want?
They wanted... I don't remember.
Because my understanding here is that that is their bot. That is the company property that these guys pirated and hijacked from them.
Uh-huh.
And that we approached them to be like, we'll get it for you if you pay us. And we were going to like double cross them or whatever. But
Right.
then we get the bot, we're leaving the warehouse and they show up. And I'm like, oh crap, they're going to take it. But all the option is, we don't want any trouble, I say. And she's like, fine. And she lets us go.
Wait,
I'm like, you're not even going to search us? What if we have the thing you're looking for?
Wait, what do you mean she let you go? Is it the lady that let you go?
Yeah, the lady showed up.
Okay, the lady did not show up for me.
Oh, that's interesting.
Do you-
'Cause I didn't take her chip.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I don't trust what you're doing here. So what's funny is, I'm like, I'm not taking the chip. She's like, all right, peace. And then she leaves instantly. Like that's it for the conversation.
Because
Yeah.
I took the chip, but the person that showed up when I was walking out was the dude that she's like, is this the mole? And he's gonna like kill the guy. It's that guy. He's like, yeah, she made some bad bets. I'm in charge now.
Oh, the dude that like she was beating to death. And
Yeah.
How did he do that? What's amazing is I found the manifest and like the paperwork for this stuff, and he is totally the mole.
Oh, is he?
Uh-huh. It's him. He does a pretty good job like playing innocent though.
Fair
I
enough.
thought anyway. Because when I met with her, they jack into me, right? For
Right.
lie detector test. And they're like, do you know this guy? Was he involved? And you're like, I don't know. I've never seen him in my life. I'm like, oh, that's true. Okay. And I was like, huh, well, maybe he's innocent. Nope. Find the manifest. And like, he totally signed off on the whole thing and knew what was going to happen to it. So
Okay, so I think what they wanted was to find the group of people that had hijacked the bot. Like, they didn't
Yeah.
care about the bot specifically. They just wanted to know what happened to, like, how they knew. They wanted to find the leaking information of how people knew to hit this convoy because it had the bot.
yeah.
Right.
So
And-
that's fair. Track down.
Because the chip that she gives you is totally, like, riddled with malware, right?
Yes. Yes. And that's what I figured. That's why I didn't take it.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
money can be hacked in this universe.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
wallets can be hacked, yeah.
Yeah.
Although it's interesting that you remind me that there's a lie detector scene, because later in the episode, the story, there's a scene where someone's trying to convince you to like help him round up some witnesses essentially for a crime, and like, oh, we have ways of making these people talk, and like we can know if it's true. And your character basically dismisses it as being like, lie detectors, really? Come on.
Oh, it's like,
Like-
this happened earlier, you moron.
Right.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I totally forgot that had even happened though.
Anyway, it's great. Visually, it's amazing. It's pretty immersive, I feel like. I don't know. I get lost. Like, it's big enough that I have no idea where I am at any point.
Right.
Third-person car driving is so much easier than first-person car driving.
Yeah.
Like, well, because at the start of the game, when you're in your car, when you're a nomad, it's third-person driving.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get into Night City, and the first time you drive, it's first-person. And you're like, what? What? I don't have side view mirrors. I can't see anything that's going on. And then I figured out third-person driving was available, and I stopped crashing into things as much. It was nice.
You should try first-person motorcycle.
Okay, I'll find a
Because
motorcycle. And give
there's
it a shot.
the motorcycle that I bought, because you can buy other cars. If you're like pull down on the mouse, your head will kind of tuck in almost behind the tank, and you can't even like see the speedo. Like you can't see how fast you're even going. Right? And the bike that I've got has this like yellow, like polarized plastic that you're supposed to see through. Be like, you can't see anything through it, at least not on the graphic settings that I've got. So you can kind of see the headlights of the car in front of you. Oh, and I would like to complain. All the distances are in meters, but the speed is in miles per hour, and you all drive on the right-hand side of the road. Like,
Right.
it's so annoying. Because I pull out onto the street, and I'm just like going along, and all of a sudden someone's driving at me. I'm like, what the hell is this idiot doing?
Wait, they're all idiots. Oh no! That's pretty good. Yeah, it is nice. It's a nice American consideration here from the Polish video game company.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, yeah, I don't know. I mean, so they apparently put out a patch that fixed some of the graphics performance issues on lesser cards.
Some, yeah.
Yeah, some. So I don't know. Did they what did they say officially their minimum specs were? A GTX 780? Which I don't think so.
Who's playing this on a 780?
I don't think it would even run. Like I booted it up on my 970 and could barely get any frames on like medium graphics. I doubt a 700 series GTX would even get low working all that well.
Right.
That's amazing.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
I don't know.
If you're out there playing Cyberpunk on a 780, send us your performance report. All right? Like, what's your benchmark look like? Come on.
Yes, please. We're very curious about your experience in this game because it makes no sense to us.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, it's good. Got some days off work here, so I'll try to hammer it out.
Cool.
Yeah, I read a review from somebody who was like, it just feels like it's not done. Like, even on a PC with good specs,
Oh, yeah.
feels not complete. And if that's the case, why? How is March ever a date? Like, who on earth gave us a March date with a completely incomplete product? If they then pushed it 6, 7, 8 months and it's still not ready to go. March should have never been a release date for this game. It makes no sense.
Oh, no. I definitely feel like that was, Suits being like, we got to push a certain quarter for whatever reason,
Yeah.
But, I mean, it could definitely have used more time, I feel.
Especially for the consoles. Like, I get they had contracts to meet.
Mm-hmm.
But I really feel like they should have approached Sony and been like, look, this is not ready for the PlayStation 4.
Mm-hmm.
We understand. Penalize us if you need to, but this is going to be a bad experience for everyone. Let's hold this off.
Right. That would make sense.
I don't know if the Xbox naming conventions are the worst things in gaming right now.
They're pretty bad, yeah.
So the latest console is the Xbox Series X, correct?
Okay. I think so.
I know, right?
I'm not going to try and dispute you on that. Because there's the Xbox Series X, and then there's the Xbox Series S.
I hate these guys so much.
And don't forget, there's two versions of the Xbox Series X, one with the disc drive and one without, I believe.
Right. Good heavens. Make it complicated. So I don't know. I know some people I followed tried to play it on Xbox Series X and just completely had a horrific experience on launch day.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if they fixed some of that stuff because most of the complaints I've seen have come from PlayStation customers.
Right.
Lately, at least, over the last week.
Right. Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it's fine.
I doubt it. Press X to doubt.
Right. I don't know anymore. It feels like it's getting harder and harder to do true late gen AAA gaming on a $400 console, right?
In what way? What do you mean?
Well, just compared to, okay, so here's PC specs. We're going to, we can run on a $2,000, $3,000 PC really well.
Mm-hmm.
You also need to get pretty close to that on this $400 machine. Good luck. You know what I mean?
I feel like the consoles
sounds difficult.
Yeah, of course it's difficult. I feel like the consoles have never really gotten particularly close, right? In my opinion, I feel like, especially like maybe end of console stuff, like I'm trying to think of something like God of War.
Last of Us is not a fair comparison because there is no PC. Well, there's no PC version, right?
No, not that I'm aware of.
The graphics they got on the super late gen PS3 stuff and the super late gen PS4 stuff is pretty impressive.
I mean, it's pretty impressive, but it's not the best looking things, right? Like,
I guess not.
I've played other stuff that looks better. I've played free games that look better. Right?
What are these free games of which you speak?
Off the top of my head, I've been looking over to my housemate, and he's been playing a lot of War Thunder, which on like max specs does look pretty.
All right.
Yeah, that's a free game.
That's funny.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Anyway, yeah, that's the console PC argument for gaming is, sure, it looks better on the PC, but it also costs 4 times as much as my console did. So congratulations, I guess.
Right, but I can also do more and play other things that also look as good.
Yes.
Right.
Right. So that's the argument. Anywho, I'm a PC gamer. I have no intent on ever buying Cyberpunk for a console, so it doesn't really concern me, but it concerns a lot of people I know.
Right.
Yeah. Anyway, it's been good. I think the character development is good. They take the time to world build. They've got little what do they call them? The little journal entries to find.
Oh yeah, the shards.
The shards, yeah. The shards with little world buildy stuff in there. The characters are good. I don't know. It's CD Projekt Red writing. It's just, they bit off more than they could chew in a lot of ways. Just what you could do in the world, how big and expansive the world is, etc. I actually watched a video recently about Fallout New Vegas.
Okay, yeah.
And how the developers accounted for the death of every character. Right?
Really?
Yep. If you kill Caesar, they accounted for that. If you kill Mr. House, they accounted for that. You can kill anybody in the entire game except for the children, wait for them to grow up and then murder them. But if you can kill anybody in the game and the storyline shifts and accounts for it and keeps going, it's amazing.
Fair enough.
There's an important quest line where the Legion recruits you for something that's like end game stuff. And this courier shows up, and if you murder him, then the Legion sends like death squads after you to kill you, and then somebody else is able to like work you around through that quest and end up in the same place anyway. It's like the amount of thought that went into this is amazing.
I mean, maybe, but it's like if you end up in the same place anyway, does it particularly matter? Right.
I'm not saying that it matters, but just the immersion level of being able to kill anybody you want at any time, and for the game to not be like, well, that's kind of amazing.
That's the thing. They kind of had to do that. Otherwise, you would kill a quest giver and be like, you can never hand it in this quest. Right?
Yeah,
like,
but they did in Fallout 3.
They just
Fallout 3, you just can't kill people who are important. You can shoot them all you want. They won't die.
I'm trying to remember if that's true, because you can kill a lot of people in Fallout 3 that are important.
I don't know. The video I saw made that claim.
I haven't played Fallout 3 in forever, but...
Right.
Because, okay, so there's this guy who you'll meet later in Cyberpunk called Fingers, right? And he's like a Ripperdoc. And I just stumbled onto him, and I bought some upgrades. I'm like, oh, cool. I'll just keep going back to my side quests. And eventually I got to the main story quest where you have to go and meet him. And I was with another NPC, and he goes, the NPC, you I've never seen before, but we've met, right? Like, he remembered that I just wandered into his shop one day.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That's the kind of stuff that's incredibly time consuming and incredibly immersive.
What I will say is that then I got to speak with him, and then I assume if he's part of this quest, he might be a part of other quests, and then I killed him. So. I did not like the way he spoke to me. So. My V was. It's funny because my character was like, "All right, she's got the blades that pop out of your forearms, the mantis blades." So I was like, "All right, done with this conversation. Arms turn into swords. Slash, slash, slash. Head comes off. Loot the guy's giant pink sword. I think he had like a bright pink katana. I think." So I took that, and then I walked outside to the NPC who was waiting for me, and my character tried to be like, "Nah, he's not that bad of a guy. Don't worry about it." Like, which I'm like,
I mean, yeah. Do you feel like the character was aware of what he did, or no? Right there.
V.
Yeah.
No. V had no clue that she had just murdered that guy.
Okay.
Right, judging
That's funny.
by the dialogue, no clue. I was going to say there was another thing. Oh, okay. So you haven't, judging by where you are, you haven't met Keanu Reeves' character.
No.
Okay.
I've read some stuff about him.
Okay, because there was a thing that kind of annoyed me, where you get introduced to him and you guys are immediately on unfriendly terms, right? Like, he's trying to kill you, you don't like him, etc., etc.
Yeah.
But I assumed that at some point in the story, you guys would become friends. And you do. You become acquaintances. And he stops trying to kill you. But I hadn't got to that part in the story. And I got into like a car crash as part of a side quest. And my character was like, "Whoa, Johnny, did you see that?" And was like instantly buddy-buddy with him before they'd become friends. Like, it just didn't realize I was doing that side quest before the main story quest.
Okay.
And yeah, Keanu Reeves was just like, "Yeah, man, that's fucked up."
We're the best of friends. Look at us.
Yeah, we're like a buddy cop movie now.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yep. Didn't account for that.
Yeah.
But see, it's so much work. It is so much work to do that level of immersion for your gamer who I don't know what percentage of people who play this game care, right?
I don't know. Even guesstimating a number is like next to impossible for me. I don't know how anyone could come up with a number.
Like, how many people do you think just see this as just a shooter game? Like, all they focus on is the combat and the upgrades and getting better at killing stuff, right? And the rest of it is just background noise.
I mean, there's got to be some, right?
Sure.
Right, like a non-zero number of people for sure. But I don't know what number that would be.
Yeah, me neither. All right.
Yeah. Good game though.
Kuwait.
So I feel like it's time to talk about Akudama Drive.
Yeah, Akudama Drive.
Yeah.
The bonkerest show of the year. I think even more so than Decadence, who had that incredible twist, right?
Right.
After that, I was like, okay.
Yeah, Akudama Drive was like, so Kanto is a place where gravity doesn't exist, and it's just a supercomputer.
So my understanding was it was just their minds in Kanto. Their bodies were somewhere else, right?
No.
Because Hacker says something about your bodies and your minds have been split.
No. He was saying that they were trying to split them. That's what Kanto was trying to do. It was trying to lull them into a place where they just like go over their bodies. And so everyone who does go to Kanto loses their bodies, but also because their mind gets sucked into the computer at the same time.
Into the hive mind, right?
Right. But not Hacker. Swindler and Courier did not let go of their bodies. They were in their real bodies, which is why it's important that when Swindler just kept trying to like jump up and grab them, that Hacker had to stop her from impaling herself. Right.
Oh, right. I forgot about that part. Fair enough. Okay. Yeah, all right. So they have their bodies. All right. So there's some good moments in this episode. I love the moment where Hacker's like, shouldn't have given the kids their own free will, the morons. And I was like, yes, absolutely true. Why would you give them personality and desires of their own? They're vessels. All you needed was an immortal vessel to put yourselves in.
Yeah.
What is wrong with you guys?
Like, they didn't even, like, if they had just taken the time to be like, all right, let's knock these kids out, like, put them in a comatose state first, none of the show would have happened. Right? Because they organized their own heist from within the train as kids in a box with a talking cat.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's it. That's all they are. They're empty vessels as far as these guys are concerned, but they gave them souls for some reason.
Right. Yeah. It was a lot in that episode where it's like, surprise, it's a supercomputer. Surprise, they're being, like, their brains are going to be the new hard drives, right? Like, they're trying to go through an upgrade here. And then they're just, like, on their way back to Kansai already. I felt like there would have been more in Kanto, you know?
Right.
It turns out
really just the one episode.
Yeah.
Well, and then it's like, I found these coordinates that no one's ever been before. Go there. I'm like, do you want them to rebuild civilization? What is this?
Yeah, I don't know what that is. I'm very interested to find out because, I mean, it's got to be something, right?
I mean, I hope there's at least like a village or something, because if it's just like, here it is, it's a nice spot next to a river with a forest nearby, go ahead and live. I don't know if they can pull that off, is all I'm saying.
Right.
Yeah. You sure made it sound like it's a completely abandoned location, which I don't doesn't make any sense at all.
Right. It's curious. I bet your favorite moment of this episode was when they were getting back onto the train and like the little girl's like to her brother, like, big sister's the shit. She used to swear. And the little brother was like, when did you eat such a foul mouth?
Yes. Little sister's the greatest. Brother needs to like grow up a little bit. He needs to figure this stuff out because she's surpassed him.
Yep.
It's only fair. She's been through more things.
It's true.
Yeah, that was good. I like how they're fighting. Like, again, why give these artificially constructed meat sacks love and a desire to be with each other and a brother-sister relationship? It's no reason for that, you idiots in Kanto.
Yeah.
Okay, so hold on. So they go back through the train. They go back, right?
Mm-hmm. They're going to take the train back to Kansai. Yeah.
And then they blow up the train. So at what point did everybody get off is my question.
They didn't. Right,
they got blown up.
That scene where you see the executioners blow up, shoot the like giant rail guns at the train. Yeah, as far as we're aware, they were still on it at the time.
Oh,
as far as we're aware,
I like how Kansai is like totally subservient to Kanto, but they'll certainly blow up the train if they need to.
Right. Yeah, I mean,
for some reason,
you can always build a new train.
Did they? Well, it sure seemed like a special train.
I mean, it was a Shinkansen, right? But
yeah, it's like a religious thing.
Well, I mean, do you know what a Shinkansen is in Japanese? Like what that means?
No.
It just means bullet train.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
It's the bullet train.
Right. And
yeah,
we've also been told that like Couriers motorbike all came from Kanto. But as we know, there's no production facilities in Kanto. Everything's being made in Kansai.
Unless supercomputer can spit out motorbikes every once in a while. I don't know, man.
Right. So my guess is they can build another train. They can build another bullet train.
I guess so. Do you think that was Kanto told them to do that? Or do you think that was their own decision because they just wanted to kill the Wakadama that are dangerous?
I mean, it's an interesting question of whether or not, like, what happened to the rest of the supercomputer. Because they were trying to transfer the consciousness in the computer to the kids, but that was interrupted halfway through. Did they lose part of the consciousness that was in like mid transfer? Do these kids have memories that aren't theirs from what did get transferred,
or did everything just get re-siphoned out, and so the Kanto's just in the space it was before all this happened?
Right. So if we find out that they're like whatever the leader program AI is that had been talking to the executioners beforehand, if they're still like calling the shots, then obviously they were like, yeah, do it. If not, it might just be the executions being like, we can't contact Kanto anymore. What the hell did they do? Right? And it's like, we need to kill these people no matter what, even if we got to blow up the holy train.
Right.
Yeah.
I could see that. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's going to be good.
Super good. I think it's great. I mean, I've been feeling like we're kind of at season finale mode for the last 4 episodes, so I don't know what's going on.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
good.
I get that.
Not knowing when the end is, I think, is a good feeling.
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely coming, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. The show has to stop at some point, right? Right?
I mean, be like Bleach or something.
Ugh. No.
Probably not. Oh, Attack on Titan, too. We got to talk about that a little bit.
Okay, yeah. You don't know anything about this show. Yeah.
Hey, I know more now that you helped me on Discord. That was great.
Yeah, but you did not remember, like, anything.
Nope.
You remembered precisely nothing.
Pretty much nothing. I mean, which is funny because this is backstory season, right?
Uh-huh.
Everything that's been happening in the show has been, here's contextualizing the world that we've been showing you for the first 3 seasons.
I mean, kind of, but it's also it's backstory, but a lot of it is also present. Like, it's also flash forward stuff. So there's been a time skip, a 5-year time skip, and so
true.
It's like backstory in preparation for what comes next. And I mean, the time skip is like a massive red flag to me because it makes me feel like they're going to set up some kind of mystery. Like, we're gonna go to see what like Eren and Mikasa are up to, and things are gonna be different because it's been 5 years and things should be different. But there's supposed to be like a mystery of like, why are they different the way they are? And I feel like if they just played the events out chronologically without a time skip, it would not be an exciting mystery. It'd just be like, oh, some stuff happened, right?
Yeah, that's fair.
But because there's been a time skip, it presents a false mystery of what's happened, right? But all the characters obviously know what happened. They were there. We're the ones in the mystery. So that's a red flag for me. But
I agree. That makes sense. I like the backstory of how did Reiner and
Bertold,
Annie and those kids, become who they were, and what happened with Ymir's backstory. What on earth?
Mm-hmm. Well, Ymir hasn't been covered at all in this season. She's pretty much done.
No, she ate Marcel.
Yeah, but that was covered in season 3. Or season 2 even.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah.
Fair enough. That's recap.
Yeah, that's recap.
For people like me who don't remember anything.
Yeah, it's true.
Got it.
I'm a little disappointed that they haven't shown... not Arwen. No. What's the little blonde-haired kid who's really smart? His name? Arwen? I get his name confused with the leader of the Scouts, who's now dead, I guess.
Erwin.
Owen. Yeah, so it's Arwen and Owen. Arwen, I think. He's now the Colossal Titan. Never seen him transform into the Colossal Titan.
Nope, have not.
Disappointing. Like, that's something I'd like to see.
Well, but part of the problem is transforming into the Colossal Titan is like setting off a nuke.
Except
you have to like have him out somewhere.
Except when they did it in like the first episode, and they had the Colossal Titan transform in front of the wall, which did nothing to the wall or the surrounding area. All he did then was kick in the wall. Right, that's what he did. There are some
consistency issues here, yes.
Yes.
Because every other time it's like setting off a nuke.
Right.
It's honestly a drawback, I think, for the Colossal Titan. Anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's good. So we ended up... I like how everybody has daddy issues, because that's what the show is daddy issues all the way around.
Right, yeah.
So Annie's dad is what's-his-face that trained Levi?
No.
It's not the same guy? Crap.
Annie's dad is not Kenny. She's calling him daddy there, but I think that's just like playful banter. I don't think that's what's going on.
Why is she hunting him down? What does she want from him?
I don't know. I think she's looking... So this is at the stage where they're like recruits or whatever, right?
Yeah.
And so I think she's just like sneaking into the inner ring to be like, can I find information on the Founding Titan?
This random dude probably knows things.
Well, this is a random dude who's, I think at this point, working for the military police. Because he was like, Kenny was going around murdering a bunch of them, and then eventually he got hired by them.
Yeah.
Right? So I think he's like an affiliate, right, at the very least.
I guess. I don't know.
And I mean,
it's fine.
he's like the plainclothes detective, right? He's the interesting one because he doesn't have to wear the uniform. That's why she targets him, right?
Yeah, not that it goes well or anything, but...
No, because it's Kenny.
Right. And Kenny's an ubermensch, basically.
Yeah.
Like, the very peak of what humans are capable of doing.
Well, I mean, kind of. He was just born that way. It's not his fault. Same with Levi. They're just genetics, right?
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm saying.
It's not even like reasonable human genetics. This is, they had a triggering moment and suddenly they have super strength, right?
Right.
Right. Like 6-year-old Mikasa can break floorboards with her feet and knife handles with her hands, like her tiny 6-year-old hands.
Correct.
It doesn't make any sense. I did also have another problem with something. Oh, okay. So we're shown that the plan to attack Paradise Island is Marcel, Berthold, Annie, and who's the other? Reiner. Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But then, like later, by the time that Reiner and Berthold are like on the run from the scout regiment and all that, there's Zeke, who's the Beast Titan, and then there's the Transport Titan, or like the quadruped one, right?
Cart Titan.
Cart, yeah. Where were they when the rest of the groups, like when all the kids are coming over? Why did they come over separately?
Don't know.
Okay, cool. All right. That's all I needed to know. And Sansa dinner. Cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, excited for more episodes. Those will be good.
Yeah. All right. Are we done?
We're done. I think we have reached the hour.
We have.
If not more at this point. But hey, that's cool.
Close enough.
Yeah, close enough. Excellent. All right, cool. So that's going to be it from us today. This has been Summicron and Falcon Paladin with another edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour. Please check out the show notes for interesting links and stuff to the merch store, falconpaladin.store, as well as the Patreon page for the podcast itself if you want to support it that way. Summicron promises to release these as a podcast sometime within the next 3 years.
Yeah, that's yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you for that.
I thought I'd give you a reasonable goal.
Oh, ouch. Brutal, dude.
Maybe if he ever stops playing Among Us and Cyberpunk, he'll have some time for podcast stuff.
Maybe.
Maybe. Yeah. No promises. I said no promises.
Once I finish building on my Warhammer.
Dang it. And there's other stuff too. All right. So anyway, hope you're having a wonderful holiday season, whatever you're celebrating this December. Have a happy new year watching this after that. And we'll be back next week with more podcast stuff. Until then, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. And please take care of yourself.
Bye.
Goodbye.